Shalom, shalom. Kulam, this is Uziyahu Ben Yehuda from Afro-Asiatic Shemitic Hebrew, AASH or AASH, Aleph, Ayin, Shin, Hey. And what we're going to go into today, we're going to go into that we are Afro-Asiatic Shemitic, okay? Let's get started. All right, first, we are Afro-Asiatic. Now, two things that you see. What we're going to go into, because, you know, there was a big event where people are saying that so-called African Americans, that we're not Afro-Asiatic, that we're not Semitic or Shemitic, and that we're not Hebrew, right? So I just wanted to go over a couple of slides, just go over a couple of things to let it be known that we are Shemitic / Semitic. The reason why I say Shemitic, because that's referring to Noah's 3 sons, right? Noah had 3 sons, Ham, Shem, and Japheth, right? And Shem, S-H-E-M, Shem is one of Noah's sons. So we don't say Semitic because Noah's son wasn't named Sem, but it was S-H, like Shem. So we say we are Shemitic, right? We are Afro-Asiatic Shemitic Hebrews. First, we're going to go over how we are Afro-Asiatic, right? Now look, you have the world language family. It says Afro-Asiatic, and you see in red, it shows you the area of Afro-Asiatic people, nation, culture, land, language, all that, right? All right. You see, right here. Now, this is the top half of Africa, right? This is a big portion. This is the Middle East, and this is Africa, and it's connected. Now, before we get started, I want you to understand some terms and some things that I deal with and what we use, the Afro-Asiatic Shemitic Hebrew. Now, this right here, this is right here in this area right here. In Genesis or Bereshit, in Genesis chapter 2, Genesis is called Bereshit. In Bereshit or Genesis chapter 2, in this area, this is where Eden was at, the Garden of Eden, and it had four rivers, right? This is by the Iraq-Iran-Kuwait border, starting there. That's Mesopotamia, that's the Fertile Crescent, and it curves over to Egypt, right? So right there, that is Eden. So he said, I will plant a garden in eastward Eden. This is eastward Eden. Where's west? This is west, right? So this is eastward Eden. This is westward Eden. And it goes all the way to West Africa, right? So Middle East and Africa is connected as Eden. So this right here is what we call Eden / Africa. And if you do some research, Israel, right? Israel, which is over in this area, is actually connected to the African tectonic plate. So we, Afro-Asiatic Shemitic Hebrews, we are Edenic, right? Because Middle East and Africa is Eden. African, because Africa and Middle East is considered one Africa. Israelite, because you see in that area we're connected to Eden and we're connected to Africa. So we are Edenic African Israelites. So Afro-Asiatic Shemitic Hebrews, we are Edenic African Israelites, okay? Make this quick. All right, now let's look at the definition. So you see the location, you see the area of Afro-Asiatic Hebrew. Let's keep this in mind. Remember, Afro-Asiatic is not in Europe, it's not in Asia, right? There is no such thing as Middle East. It's either Africa or Asia. This is a part of, so this part of Asia, Middle East, Asia Minor is actually a part of Africa, a part of Eden. So we're Afro-Asiatic because we're not just from what we call today Africa, but we're from this part of Africa. We are from the Shemitic area of Africa. This is Hamitic Africa. This is Shemitic Africa. So Ham and Shem together is Afro-Asiatic. But let's read the definition. Okay, it says Hebrew, right? A member of the Semitic people inhabiting ancient Palestine and claiming descent from Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Israelite, a Semitic language of the Afro-Asiatic family, the language of the ancient Hebrews, now the national language of Israel. Afro is a noun, a thick hairstyle with very tight curls that sticks out all around the head like the natural hair of some Black people. Origin, 1930s. Independent uses of Afro or an abbreviation of African. So African Asiatic, Afro-Asiatic. So Hebrew, right? So Hebrew is Afro-Asiatic. And it's Semitic. Afro, natural hair of some Black people, right? So we are Afro-Asiatic, Shemitic, Hebrews, okay? Let's look into some more Afro-Asiatic. So again, I want you to just keep your eye on this. Just look at this, check in with this from time to time, so you can see the location of Afro-Asiatic. The top half of Africa and Middle East is Afro-Asiatic. The bottom half, right? The bottom half is Niger, Congo. So this is a big mass on the continent. We need to know who Afro-Asiatic is, the people, the language, and we need to know that we are connected to this. You know, Afro-Asiatic Shemitic Hebrews are part of the African family. It's part of the Edenic family. We are connected to this. Afro-Asiatic, it's an adjective, right? Relating to, right? Relating to or denoting a family of languages spoken in the Middle East and North Africa. The family is commonly divided into 5 groups: Semitic or Shemitic, Ometic, Berber, Cushitic, Chadic, and ancient Egyptian or Kemet or Coptic or Mitzrayim was also a member of this family. So you really had 6: Shemitic, Ometic, Berber, Cushitic, Chadic, and Kemet, ancient Egyptians. All right, Afro-Asiatic, right? There are 6 main branches listed roughly in order of age. Cushitic, which is Ethiopia and Somalia. And Cushitic, the Oromos are actually the Hamitic or the Cushitic people in Ethiopia. So you have Cushitic, Oromo, and Somalia. Ometic is another. You know, there's 80 different tribes in Ethiopia, so it's big. Ometic, which is Ethiopia. Egyptians, Egypt. Coptic, Mitzrayim, right? Kemet, Chad, Niger, northern Nigeria, right? So this is reaching all the way over to West Africa. Berber. So the Berber is Northwest Africa. That's the Moors, you know, Berber. Semitic or Shemitic, Southwest Asia, part of Ethiopia, and the Arabic-speaking world. Now, note, under Shemitic too, you have Hebrew, the language of the people. Israel, the people in the land, is an Afro-Asiatic Semitic people, language and culture. The land of Israel sits on the African tectonic plate, so it's on the continent of Africa/Eden. So Israelites are actually Shemitic Northeast Africans. And that's from me, Uziyahu. All right. So we'll stop there.